So you're wondering, how do I create a new document in InDesign? So I'm using InDesign CC, and InDesign CC, or actually all InDesigns, have actually made it very easy for you, whether you're using CS6 or you're using anything earlier, it doesn't matter. But there are two ways how to do this. And the first one is you come to file, create new, and you click on document, and it will, and a pop-up box will come, and you can click cancel. And the second option is very also quite simple. You click command N, and the same thing will happen. Now, what happens once you have this new document option? Um, it might look very wordy, it may look very complicated, but it's not. It's actually quite simple. And this is to guide you on how to simply manage your document settings. Now, you click here. Now, you have two options. You can create your own custom template page that you can be using anytime that you want to access it because you don't want to change the settings, or you can use the default, and the default basically is what you're going to um, default is what InDesign actually gives you. So what do you do? So what is the intent basically? Is it for print, is it for web, or is it for mobile? And today I want to focus on print and web, but I'm going to do it in passing really, because it's actually very simple how to create a new document. So what you do, you come here, you specify the number of pages. Let's do 2 pages. Then it's going to start at number one. Facing pages, basically, I will do another video to show you what is the meaning of facing pages. Then, do you want a primary text frame? Normally, I don't prefer having one, but let's just put primary text frame for the sake of the video. Then, page size. The default one definitely is usually A4, but if you're doing different sizes, whether you're doing smaller or larger, you will definitely just come to these particular options and you will choose one. But let's choose A4 for this particular moment. A4, the size, the height, and the width have been specified, but you can also change depending on what document you're trying to create. Then the orientation, the current one is portrait and landscape, and that's how landscape looks, portrait looks. And if you're relatively new to InDesign, some of these terminologies might become very confusing, but the more you design, the more you realize that it's not that complicated. It's actually very easy. So then columns are very important when you're designing in InDesign, and personally I find that they guide me to be able to arrange my work in a much easier way. So normally I like putting 3 columns, whether I'm using it in portrait or in landscape. It just makes it easy for me to place my images or put my text in I can actually be able to play around with different settings in the text, and it just makes work much easier. Then the margins have been set for you, but if you want to change the margins, you just come here and check the type of document that you're trying to create, and you can change them here. Then the bleed is very important. Bleed basically just they inform the printers on where not to cut, where the document ends. Because let me give you an example. Let me just give you a very simple example. Let's give it a 3 millimeter lead, and you have seen that. Let me turn it to 0. So maybe if you missed it, let's return it to 0, and you will see that it's disappeared. So basically, whatever you design, um, this white space, basically nothing can, whatever is inside the black box is what will appear. But now, once you do a bleed, it basically, you can actually stretch out your work until where the red line appears. But this will inform the printers that they can cut until where the black is. So if they can cut anything outside until where the red is, so that to ensure that they cut so that nothing inside the black rectangle is cut. The black space, sorry, is cut. And basically that's it. A slug also, I'll do another video to show you what a slug is, but basically that's how you create a new document. You can play around with different types of documents. You can come to web, and you will see that once you click on web, also the setting changes from millimeter to pixel, and everything basically just changes over there. And you can play around with this. You'll find what basically changes is the page sizes, and and what is it called, the sorry, but play around with this. Try to understand it, create different types of documents, and measure and play around with different measurements, and see what you come up with. But it's very simple. And yeah, thank you for clicking my video. Peace.